Hey guys, it's Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and today I'm going to show you some quick tricks for staining cabinets. Right now we're putting together our cabinets that we put in for our built-in entertainment center. This is the second one we've done. We moved and we wanted to do something very similar to our new house. So I wanted to go over real quick some of your supplies. I have my windows open right now, big one. It's winter and I'm trying to stain indoors. Ideally I would have done this outside before I put it together, but due to the weather, it's just too cold to be staining out, even in the garage. So I've got an apron to protect my clothes as much as I can. And I always raid my husband's sock drawer for any socks that have holes in them. I wear gloves. I get a box of gloves that I use for painting and staining, and that is purely to prevent cleanup and to protect my hands from having to wash with harsh chemicals after. So I wear those, and then I put the socks over them, and I have 2 socks, one for each hand. So as you can see, I've started staining, and I am going to go over a quick, easy way to be lazy about staining this. This is not the correct way. The correct way is to pull off, take your hardware for the cabinets, pull off each door, stain each side, or stain the side, let it dry, stain the other side, let it dry. I don't have the option to have that much time out of my schedule. I've got 3 kids and we've got a babysitter here for just a couple hours. So I need to stain these and be able to dry brush them, which will probably happen this weekend when my husband's home to watch them. So I want to get this stained today, and that means I have to do it all in one day. So I'm going to show you how I do it quicker than normal. So the first thing I should mention is I did the countertop first. This is wood, and we put it together. This is not attached yet. It is just laying on top. We will screw that in eventually, but I just pulled that out to stay in the back towards the wall, so that way I didn't get stain on the wall. Pretty easy. Also, as I pull it out, I'm getting under the lip of the, under the lip here. That way I don't have any raw wood showing from underneath, even though it's kind of not a big deal because no one's going to see underneath. I just tried to make sure on either side that I got the raw wood, and then I can push it back, or I can ideally let it dry first, but then I can push it back. We will attach that after everything is finished. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be staining the top and the cabinets themselves, and then after those cabinets have dried, I'm going to dry brush paint onto the cabinets, but not the countertop. So let me show you quick how I'm doing this so that it is a little bit easier and faster than if I had to pull all the pieces off. Okay, so some of the challenges are getting into the cracks. Let's see. Some of the challenges are going to be getting into these cracks in the edges, and also getting in behind this corner here. So honestly, with the edges, it's just working at it. You're using your fingers and kind of pushing them up into it. That's the benefit of using, in fairness, a paintbrush would do that better. A paintbrush would get it, but you'll have a lot of splattering. I don't want to make a huge mess. I don't want to do cleanup. So instead I'm using my fingers and my fingernails to get into each of these edges by poking my fingers, which are in gloves, and have the socks over them. The socks have the stain on them, and they have just enough to get the coverage. I don't want too much stain. When you're applying stain with a paintbrush, you tend to be applying a lot of stain, and you want to wipe it down after. The easier way to do this, in my opinion, is to put a little bit of stain on your sock and make sure to wring it out a little. Obviously it's on your hand, sorry. I don't want to put the glove back on quite yet. So you get your sock and kind of just wring it out over your can of stain, and make sure you have just a very little on there, and you're brushing it on, so that way you don't have splattering, you're not making a huge mess, and you can get a nice even coat, and you don't have to go back over it and wipe stain off because it's just enough to cover. Now if you want to get a darker shade, you're going to have to do several layers this way. This is not, I mean, I guess if you left a lot to sit on it, it would probably sink in faster and you would only have to do one layer. I only plan on doing one layer anyways because I plan to dry brush over it. It's not a big deal. If you're, I don't know. I'm definitely not the biggest expert on stain. This is just how I get by and cope with getting everything done in short amounts of time. So I'm going to switch batteries actually because my camera is running out of battery and I want to do that before I get the stain, but I'll show you here. Okay, so just to clarify, I have a sock I'm using. This goes over my hand. As you can see, I have a glove on first. It's a latex glove, and then I'm putting this on top. Just keeps stain from getting all over my hands, which I hate. So I only use one sock. I have a second sock standing by to clean up messes. If I get some on a wall or somewhere I don't want to. That eventually will get so dirty I can use it. And this may get saturated, in which case I want to swap them out. But you can see this has been actually sitting for a second and it still has stain on it. And so I'm going to go around these brackets, and because I'm using my finger, again, this is not the most perfect job ever, but I feel like the stain won't show up on the brackets, so it's not like paint where it's going to be really obvious. So I'm just going to use my finger and go up and down. It would probably be easier just to remove these shelves. We actually have stuff on them, so I'm trying to avoid that. I'm just going to wipe where I actually accidentally got some. So, okay, so again, I'm dipping, and I'm just going to go down here. I don't know what is up with the finish on this. I feel like it's got some weird stuff going on with the wood, and I'm not sure why. That is not from me, I don't think. So I'm just going up and down, going around the brackets. Okay, so the section I want to show you how I get. So once this is kind of like at the end of its life and you would be going for another dip, instead of going to do that, as you can see, I'm just working my fingers into the corners here, into the edges. I'm trying to get as good as I can. Down into the cap. Okay, so now this is pretty dry, but what I'm going to do is before I dip it again and go back to this section, I want to get behind where this cabinet attaches. That way there's no raw edges showing that anyone can see if they were to pull these cabinet doors off. Again, your ideal is to pull this off first. I am not doing this the correct way. I'm doing this the quick way because I need to get it done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to treat this like dental floss. And I recommend not staining this edge first at the far edge because you're probably going to be up against it a little. Although if you have an apron, it won't make a difference. So I'm flossing this in here. And I'm just going to kind of pull it back and forth like you're flossing. Just like you would be flossing if you were flossing your teeth. Now the same thing I'm going to do, I pulled the sock off a little and I'm just putting the tip of it through here and grabbing it on the other side. Sometimes, like, this sock is pretty thick, it's hard to fit through. So I may swap to the other hand because I have an easier time working right to left. So I'm going to, again, stuff the sock through. And this is going to take me a second to work through. Again, probably simpler just to remove this if you're not on a time. Okay. So So I've pulled this through and I'm just flossing it again, mostly up and down. Now the sock is saturated on both sides, so you are getting both the edge of the door as well as the edge that's on the cabinet itself. And you can kind of look and make sure you're getting it all and floss it up towards where each of your hinges are. So that way you can get it. Now, there was a couple little areas that I noticed weren't perfect on the inside of this one I did, and maybe if I'd spent some more time on it I could have gotten them. But I'm going for something that is not obvious. Not necessarily perfect. Again, floss like your dentist told you to do, just not your teeth. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm just going to go and do this. And again, you're flossing, you are staining with the grain of the wood. So this main section is up and down because you see the grain is going that way. For these stripes right here, you're going side to side. So you just go with the grain, which is the direction the wood is going. Or yeah, these little lines, that direction. Okay, I'm just going to repeat this for each of my pieces, and don't forget to run on the underneath portion of your wood as well, and kind of support your panel or your cabinet doors so you don't push them back too much. And you can switch hands if you need to, if your one hand's better than the other to use. And you want to try to keep your fingerprints off. That might have been for my fingerprints, although I don't know. Just try not to hold on to it in a place where stain's going to get on the door and maybe discolor it in certain places, because that does happen. Okay, now I'm leaving these open to dry. I don't want to close this all the way. Oh man. So I'm keeping it open a little. That thing does not want to focus. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So again, I'm working here, up and down, getting into the corners. And I find I like this method so much better than using a paintbrush. The only exception is if I'm outside, sometimes if I'm working in the garage and don't care about making a mess, I'll use a paintbrush. It's a little easier sometimes to get to nooks and crannies. But guys, I hope this was helpful, and please subscribe and head over to DIYDanielle.com for more information. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.